Hi, I'm Kevin Nunez, investor, entrepreneur, and professor. I grew up in a part of New York City where nobody was talking about saving or investing. We were in survival mode. I earned my bachelor's degree from Fordham University and an MBA from Cornell University. I worked my way up Wall Street firms like Morgan Stanley and Merrill Lynch. I did everything you're supposed to do. And I could have kept climbing that ladder, but I chose something different. I chose to build. I chose to teach. I chose to invest in our communities because too many families are often fed bad information about money and it costs them generations. So this is Invested in Us, where we break down money, markets, and ownership so our communities can build real wealth and real legacy. Hey everybody, my name is Kevin Nunez, founder of NJK Partners, and welcome back to the 20th edition of Invested in Us, where we explain money how it should have been taught to us. So a lot has changed since issue 19. You know, if you would have closed your eyes, taken a nap, and woken up today, you would have seen that the market bounced back pretty strong. And that's exactly what we were calling for in some of our last issues. You know, during times of market volatility, it's important to not panic, especially not panic sell. You know, it's important to always have your goals in line with your investments. That way you can phase out all the noise. Just in 2026, we've seen a ton of volatility, largely brought on by geopolitical, instability, tariffs, unpredictable interest rates. The markets were softening up for a moment. So all of these things were a lot of noise, but if you stayed the course, you would see that that the markets are hovering around all-time highs. In fact, the stock market has a track record of bouncing back and hitting all-time highs basically 100% of the time. So it's important to understand that over the longer term, the markets are likely going to go up. If you believe in the notion of inflation, and if you believe, especially in a capitalistic society like America, that companies will always innovate and find ways to make money on their clients, and they will always pass those inflationary costs onto their clients, companies will always be profitable. And if you remain in the markets long enough, the stock price always follow the company's profitabilities. So if you zoom out longer term and you see that a company has been healthy, growing, profitable, strong management team over a long period of time, it's likely those names will likely increase. So please don't get jammed up in, the hype of the latest IPO or this or that, because I'm a firm believer that the wealth is created long before a company ever IPOs. These companies are now going public at $1 trillion valuation. The trick here is to get in early. The trick is to get in the private markets, hence the name private equity, so that you can enjoy some of that upside capture long before the company's IPO. Maybe you can come in at a $1 million valuation, $2 or $3 million valuation, and hopefully one day hit the sell button at a $2 or $3 trillion valuation, making multiples on your money. And that's what this game is all about. It's not about trying to buy a stock at $100 and exit at 102 and hopefully day trading your way to success. It's about playing the long game. It's about finding good names, good investments, good assets, albeit stocks, bonds, or real estate, and learning where the puck is going and benefiting from that upside appreciation. Don't get jammed up in the hype and the latest IPO or the latest private credit scandal or what hedge fund, is doing what. That's all noise. Focus on goals-based investing, and longer term, everything will work out. So with that, appreciate everybody joining us for the 20th edition of Invested in Us. Please stay tuned for more content. Of course, I'm going to ask that you like, share, refollow, hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff as we try to, inspire the world, and we try to motivate and teach, financial literacy and entrepreneurship and all those good things. So once again, thank you for joining Invested in Us, where we explain money how it should have been taught to us. And have a great day, everybody. Peace.